Good morning. It's Saturday, and on Saturday, because I don't have my regular work job, I like to make my breakfast a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to show you guys a protein waffle recipe, and it's going to be about 25 grams of protein, 35 grams of carbs, and 5 grams of fat. So I'm going to start. I'm warming up my waffle maker right now behind all of these ingredients. And the first thing I'm going to do is take my coconut oil, which you do need some type of an oil or a wet ingredient for waffles to get a fluffier consistency. I'm going to measure out 1 teaspoon of coconut oil and melt it in the microwave. And it only takes about 10 to 20 seconds to melt. So I have it in here. Now here's my melted coconut oil. You can barely see it in the bottom, but it is there. Next, I'm going to take, since I'm started with the wet ingredients, I'm going to continue with the wet ingredients. Egg whites. I'm going to use about 1/3 of a cup. And I usually will use more egg whites, but because I'm doing a protein waffle, the egg white is going to serve as my main liquid. And I'm also adding in some protein powder. Next, I have liquid stevia in vanilla stevia flavor so that it doesn't taste totally bland. And I drop about 5 to 8 drops. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of sea salt. I don't really measure it. Quite honestly, I've gotten to a point where I don't measure a lot of ingredients unless I am specifically trying to calculate the macros, but a lot of it I can eyeball now from my experience. So this is where we're at right now. I'm going to just whisk it together because the coconut oil was warm and the egg whites are not. And you don't want it to get stuck at the bottom. I can actually smell that coconut oil. It's such a good quality. And I think that's one thing I've found in some ingredients is if you can't actually smell the ingredient, odds are it's not that best of a quality ingredient. So my carbohydrates, I'm going to start with my 1-to-1 gluten-free flour from Bob's Red Mill. Love this stuff. David likes it too because it is rice flour based. And David's not a big fan of potato based. So this is a sweet white rice flour. It has 30 grams of carbs per 1/4 cup. So because I don't want my pancake or my waffle to be totally plain and I'm adding in blueberries, I'm going to measure just under 1/4 of a cup. If I can find it. So like I said, it's not precise 100%, but just under 1/4 of a cup of the flour. Putting that in there. Now I'm going to put in, I need something that's going to make it rise and fluff up. So I have arrowroot starch. It's a replacement for cornstarch. I don't like corn in my diet. That's just personal preference. So I use a little bit of arrowroot starch. I'm going to use the teaspoon measure, to get about 1/4 teaspoon. It's like I'm hardly even measuring it. Scrape it out with my finger. And since I'm using this measurement, I'm going to show you guys one of the add-ins I've been doing to a lot of my daily meals, at least once a day, is mushroom powder. Mushrooms have a lot of benefits to the body, antioxidants especially. So in a caloric deficit right now, I'm not able to get a lot of antioxidants, and that's why I'm adding in mushroom powder. Since David and I were just getting over our colds, I've been adding it in every single day. And I have noticed a little bit of a difference in my immune system. Not tremendous, but they say it takes about 2 weeks for it to get acclimated in your body. So I put in 2 teaspoons of that, and it only per serving is about 2 grams of, well, it's not even 2 grams of carbs. It's like 1 gram of carb. Hey, baby. So I'm gonna whisk this a little bit, and now I'm going to add in about a half a scoop of protein powder. I have vanilla flavor right now. Put that in here, and you just whisk, whisk, whisk. And you can see that it's starting to combine pretty easily. That's partially the coconut oil and partially just having a balanced ratio of your liquids to dry. I think that's the hardest thing when you're trying to make protein anything, is sometimes it gets too dry, sometimes it gets too moist, and then it won't have the right consistency when you're baking or cooking with it. So now, all we're going to do, oh shoot, I need to get the spray. Here's my waffle maker. I use Trader Joe's, ooh, you can barely see, coconut oil spray. I don't use it all the time. I like to use olive oil spray on a lot of my regular meals. Coconut oil spray on any like baked goods, breakfast foods. So now I'm going to take my waffle mix and pour it on. And I think I'm going to split this into 2 just so it doesn't overflow, because I've had issues in the past where it poops everywhere. David's right. So now that it's poured in, this is when I add in the blueberries. I gotta hurry. Shoot. They're my life. So I just sprinkle on. Oh my gosh, that was a little bit more than I wanted. Bam. Sizzling. And since it's green light, that means go. Oh my gosh, look at that. David, are you jealous?
I'm about to get some off the cardio.
Well, I can't get it off. There we go. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, everybody. So there's one. Now I gotta make the second one. Spray this again because my learning experience has taught me that if you don't spray it in between servings, odds are it will stick. Yeah, I'm glad I split this. Hoorah. I hope this is vanilla flavor. Oh, I know why it's brown. That's from the mushroom. This does not look like the right color, but I promise it'll taste good. And voila. And here's the second one. Yes. So. Ooh, yeah. Check out those waffles. Let's see if I can get good light. There we go. So you guys can actually see them. They're not very thick, but they're still gonna taste awesome. So now I'm gonna eat my protein waffles. The only add-in that I'm doing is sugar-free syrup, because I am counting my calories right now and trying to avoid additional sugars. I don't like sugar alcohols all the time, so this is like a 1 a day maybe thing that I'll do, but I'm just gonna put on. Ooh. And you really don't need a lot because of the stevia that's added in and the blueberries. Yeah, the consistency is actually pretty good on these. Super excited.